So, having bought our cars, we were told to meet in a school playground. And I was the first to arrive. As you would imagine, I've done this properly. It's a Golf, and that's really all there is to say about it. It cost my mum £695, and it cost her £1,509 to insure it with me on as a name driver for very occasional use, such as today, when I've just come to see my mates. Is it an S Coupe?
It is a Hyundai S Coupe, 1.5 litre, and I think you'll agree, well, there's only one word for it, coupe.
Scrap.
It's a coupe. It's magnificent with 85 brake horsepower, bucket seats, electric windows.
How much was yours? Sorry, how much did your mum pay for yours?
My mum paid £700 for this.
And then a geography teacher arrived.
God above, I thought that was one of the teachers.
I'm sorry, I'm 17. Happy birthday, son. No.
The perfect car for any 17-year-old.
Why?
Why?
Yes.
My turbo.
Low pressure.
It is a low-pressure turbo.
What have you got?
I've got a Golf.
Has it got a turbo?
No.
They did do a turbo.
What is that?
That's a Hyundai S Coupe, and they did do a turbo.
Not on this one.
No, not on this particular one.
So you turn up at the school, here's my turbo. There's another very important issue that we must address. The most precious thing in your life, your child, speaking as a parent, is sitting in that seat, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at the amount of metal between him and the tree he will inevitably hit.
So, there we are. We had the cars. We had the insurance. All we needed was a challenge. Thank you. You must now imagine that you are 17
Yes.
and modify your cars accordingly in order to do what any 17-year-old boy wants to do. Attract girls.
Ah, you've had it. Well, look at your beige Volvo.
Get on, what?
Your budget is whatever you have left from your original £2,500.
So how much have you got?
300 quid.
You?
500 quid. You?
Not.
I was the first to arrive.
This is a 75, and I will admit it is not the best-looking car in the world. It rather looks as though they got themselves an Etch-a-Sketch to design it. And then they fitted the wheels from a grand piano. However, underneath, that is a different story. The gearbox is at the back for better weight distribution. The brakes, the rear brakes anyway, are inboard to reduce unsprung weight. It's got a limited slip diff. And at the front, it's got Alfa's 3-litre V6 engine. I think one of the best engines ever to go into mass production. And I got this whole car for £450. It's May in a GTV. If you got this for less than £1,000 quid, I will eat my own shoes.
Do carry on. £995. 1996 Alfa Romeo GTV 2-litre twin spark. And what have you bought, you idiot?
Did you just say 2-litre?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you get the GTV6?
It's not as good.
In what way is it not as good?
Heavier at the nose, the handling is compromised.
Oh, of course, because it's front-wheel drive, this, isn't it?
Exactly.
And front-wheel drive is for the feeble.
No.
This is rear-wheel drive.
I know.
Racing pedigree.
This piece, think about it,
Yeah.
is to make Alfa look good again.
This, as I've just...
what-
This is in black. This is a symphony of evil.
It's not black, it's grey.
It's black.
What's that?
It's a... What?
What's that?
Bird dirt. Yours is, I think, a triumph of style over substance. I can't even look at the front of one of these cars because I get sexually excited.
Mercifully, Jeremy was interrupted by the arrival of Hammond.
Dustin Hoffman has arrived.
Hello there.
That's...
Behold the spider.
I knew you'd buy a spider.
I knew he would. This is the
I
version
knew.
that only had one windscreen wiper. I've not seen this one.
No, actually, there is another.
Like a Scirocco.
This is the definitive small Italian sports car. I couldn't believe you can get one of these for £1,000.
You know we're supposed to be...
That doesn't always work.
It doesn't work at all.
No.
Let's just start here and move through. Does the door mirror work?
No.
Does this window work?
No.
Any of those switches?
Not really, no.
No. That window?
No.
That windscreen wiper?
No.
At least there's no play in the steering.
That's all part of the character.
Shall we just all have a look at the front wheels, ladies and gentlemen? You could drive this through an American movie.
We could have bickered until the middle of next week, but the producers, keen to show we were morons, were ready with the first challenge.
Back in 1743, Alfa Romeo was indeed a successful racing team. See, they haven't got the idea of this at all, have they? We shall now see how much of that racing pedigree has survived. You will therefore go to a track day at Rockingham Race Circuit.
Ooh, I hadn't seen that one coming.
No. You haven't seen this one coming either. Where you will get 1 point for every car you overtake and lose 1 every time you are overtaken.
Ah.
I may surprise you. I bet you I don't, though.
Right,
Let's go!
We saddled up and headed for Rockingham. I was the first to arrive with, well, look at it, 2 tons of Swedish magnificence.
It's a Volvo 760. It has the 2.8-litre V6 engine, and it's the GLE model. So, electric sunshine roof, leather, air conditioning, and it's not in bad nick. No corrosion that I can see, no dents and scratches worth talking about. It's actually taxed and tested for another 2 months. And that's what James has bought. Here he is. It's actually more modern than mine, I'm ashamed to admit, but...
It's an Audi 81.8E.
And you paid less than 100 quid?
I did.
Taxed?
Yes.
Tested?
7 months.
You really can't believe that's
It's
100
fantastic.
quid. I mean, I was ready to go, oh no, James has bought a hen house. Anyway, so where's Ham? Exactly, where is the hamster? He's got a Rover! Oh, God!
Old man, you've done it wrong.
My back!
GTI.
Yes, I know, but...
16 valves.
But, yeah, granted, it does go down.
Over.
But
Because I'm not sure if it leaks, so I'm going to leave that on.
Your radio?
Isn't there?
There's more rust here and here.
Yeah, well, but
Oh,
there's
that's
plenty
going to drop
car
off
in
any
between
second.
the bits
Look
of
at
rust.
that.
Right, I think we're ready for our first challenge. One of the chaps from the office.
Ooh, an
Here it
envelope
is.
and everything.
The journey from London to Manchester and back would cost £182 on the train. Your cars cost less than that. You must head north on the M1, take the new M6 toll road, rendezvous in Manchester outside Manchester United ground at Old Trafford, then drive them back to the Top Gear track for your next challenge. So Manchester and back.
Easy.
Easy.
Okay.
Let's
ready.
go!
Our meeting point was Fleet Services on the M3. And Richard was the first to arrive.
And there it is. I am genuinely proud of this.
But before I had a chance to talk you through my Land Rover, Jeremy arrived.
What?
In what appeared to be a block of flats on top of an old Citroen.
Whoa! Look at it!
Come on.
It's enormous.
It's absolutely superb. Do you ever watch Grand Designs?
Yes.
Yeah, you do?
Yes,
Kevin
I have.
McLeod
Yes, Kevin
programme.
McLeod, yeah.
Every single thing they build looks like this. The indented windows. It's modern, it's crisp.
No,
and
he'd love it. He'd love to ask which cock stuck that on top of a Citroen.
Dude,
To try and bring Richard round, I showed him my interior.
Wow! It's 3-story.
Japanese contemplation area here.
Very useful.
Upstairs, 2 hammocks and full cooking facilities with a grill.
With the tour over, Kevin McClarkson turned his attention to my Land Rover.
This is
Yep.
hideous.
It's stone effect, which is right for the whole Land Rover thing. It's
It's hideous, baggy. Yes.
it's perfect, you see.
Please tell me this is not real.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, entirely. If you need it, it's there for you.
You're joking.
No. If you need it, it's there.
All we had to do then was wait for James.
I have to say, Land Rover, famed for its reliability. No, wait, not reliability.
No.
And Citroen, famed for
the same problem.
The same problem. If James turns up in an Alpha, we really have completed the set.
We'll have the lot.
But James didn't turn up in an Alpha because he'd thought of something even more unreliable.
Whoa! It's an old Lotus with a roof box. I didn't expect that. Wow!
You haven't got the idea of it at all.
No. This, I don't like to be immodest, but this is actually a very good idea. This is inspired by the work of the pioneer aviators. It's extremely light. It's brilliant.
Hammond, it's a roof box with a sleeping bag in it.
Yeah.
Where's your bog?
There.
Oh, where your head is.
And how do you go on that?
The roof goes up.
How does it go up?
It's on telescopic things.
It's not a motorhome.
It is. What is a motor car with accommodation on it?
What's
it's
this? Why has it got that?
Stability.
Rubbish.
Storage.
That's it. That's...
What do you need? A tin opener and a vegetable
Yeah,
peeler.
that's neat. I like that. That's neat.
There's another one on the other side with toiletries.
James was then keen to inspect Hammond's.
This is a Land Rover with...
The curtains on the outside.
Now, listen.
I don't understand this. Look, because
There
look,
will be opportunity, I'm sure, for me to demonstrate the way this works. I've taken inspiration from the American motorhomes that slide out at the sides.
Have you?
So this, so this gets bigger.
How does it get bigger?
A lot bigger, you'll see.
At this point, we were interrupted by the arrival of a challenge.
When it
hello.
falls over.
Hello,
it's
hello.
the deck.
Here we go.
This is it. It says you are going on a camping holiday. Yes, that's a win.
Where?
He loves camping.
Oh, yeah. In Cornwall.
Yes!
Yeah! That's going to be great.
It's
camping
not.
in
What's
Cornwall.
great about Cornwall?
Cornwall's lovely.
You'll have sand in your food. You'll be freezing cold if you go anywhere near the sea.
Yeah, but the food will be stuff you'll recognise. You'll be able to read the road signs.
Why don't we go to France?
Can I finish
You're going
the
to get...
Stop being a wimp.
You
What's the
are
challenge?
going on a camping holiday in Cornwall. This is 215 miles from where you are now. It's
Listen,
going to be
why
great
don't-
fun. It's a
you-
win-win-win. I'm going camping, my favourite activity, in my favourite weather. It's my best day ever.
So, with my heart singing, it was time to show the world that a new era in motorhoming had begun.
I was the first to arrive, and as you can see, my choice was superb.
This is a Citroën DS3 Racing, and it does everything a hot hatchback should. It is bonkers to look at, and with 204 horsepower under the bonnet, it's bonkers to drive as well. But it still has back seats that fold down. It's still small. It's still relatively inexpensive. It's it seems Mr. May has arrived in a driving instructor's car.
This is a Renault Clio, but it's the Cup version. And it is, pound for pound, the most exciting car on sale. Not my words, not my words, the words of Autocar magazine.
Autocar?
Yes.
The magazine that sacked you?
Yes. And I could point out that it's £16,000 and yours is what, 23?
Where's your aircon? Cruise control? Sat nav? You haven't got anything.
It's got aircon.
It's an optional extra.
It's an option that's been selected.
You've only got, what's you got, 197 horsepower?
Yeah.
204.
That's very nearly as much power as yours.
In the same way that the Egyptian army is very nearly as powerful as the American army.
got more
197.
Mercifully, at this point, Hammond arrived. In a car from the 1950s.
Gentlemen, behold, the Fiat 500 Abarth convertible. The best hot hatch ever.
Well, apart from a couple of things. One is it's not very hot, and two, it's not a hatchback. I'm with him.
It is hot. This has got the SS kit on it, so it's 158 brake horsepower in there.
Wow.
Just a couple of things. Small.
Yes.
Yes, it is. What have you... This is enormous. This is the Clio.
Yes.
Cup.
Yes. You brought one of those ridiculously gaudy training shoes with springs at the back. Look at me, robot shoe.
Have you seen the writing there?
Look at it. This would look good on the deck of a Nimitz-class aircraft carrier.
We're not on the deck of a Nimitz class. We're in a
It
beautiful
also-
Italian plaza.
You know what this is?
Yes.
Juvenile.
juvenile.
I have to say, James,
you're
one
right.
thing that
Juvenile.
This is just a
Yes.
small French
May I?
car.
It also has an optional extra on it.
It has air conditioning, yes.
Yes, it has something else.
Ah, yes.
Oh.
No, yeah, but I didn't do...
What this actually means in Italian is bell end.
James, just a headline to sum up the cars. Magnificent, ridiculous. It's a bit boring. Bland.
It might look boring to you, but
Isn't it?
it isn't boring because it's about... I mean, what are these cars about? They are about the sensation of driving, and I know this will give it to me because it's a small Renault and they are the best in the world at it.
It's about fun and experience. Hello, it looks magnificent. It's genuinely small.
looks.
You can put the roof back.
But it isn't a hatchback.
Well,
It's like turning up to do the Grand National on a cow or a hen.
It's not. It is.
Seeing that this was going nowhere, a producer stepped in with a challenge.
No, Jim, this is a no-brainer.
The thing.
To see which of your cars works best in the urban environment, you will now leave the city of Lucca.
Is that it? Yeah. Well, just drive out of a town? Well, how hard can that be?
As it turned out, very hard.
Right, gentlemen, this is what I've come up with. That is the Fendt 930 Vario. It's £120,000. This is the Mercedes S-Class of agricultural vehicles. This has got every single toy imaginable, but best of all, it's got this computer, okay, and it will maintain it at a constant speed of 0.06 of a mile an hour.
That's the fastest he's ever been.
Jeremy's choice turned up next.
There it is.
Jeremy, that's a digger.
No, it isn't. That is a JCB fast track something or other, and this is the tractor that the army use.
Well, the army, well known, of course, all over the world as farmers.
Just honestly, this, okay, it has
what?
It has an 8.3 litre turbocharged engine, and like any other tractor, I think, top speed's unlimited.
No. No, listen, seriously, if we're going to make good quality petrol from our crop,
Yeah.
we want to get the ploughing done well, not quickly, OK? Which is why I have bought this.
That's a bloody tank, you idiot.
It didn't look that big on my computer, to be honest. It's a Case STX Steiger that has got a 16-litre turbocharged engine that weighs 24 tons. It's just
How much is it?
£224,756.
What's its top speed?
20.
20.
20.
41. So this is therefore a faster plougher.
You can't plough at 41 miles an hour, though.
Well, how fast do you plough?
I don't know.
Our ignorance about farming was a little embarrassing, so we dived into the first challenge.
Ready?
Big moment.
Farming has a very high suicide rate, which can be attributed to stress. The last thing you need, therefore, is a tractor that's confusing to operate. So to test user-friendliness, you must hitch up a trailer, get in, adjust the seat, turn on the lights, and then reverse your rig through our car park.
Quite big, some of these things.
It's a tight car park, that.
These are the cars in question, and it's our job to decide which is best. The 4.7-litre Maserati Quattroporte GTS, the 6-litre Aston Martin Rapide, or the extremely ugly Porsche Panamera Turbo.
This isn't just hideous compared to the other two, it's hideous compared to a genital wart.
By contrast, looks is where the Aston gets off to a flying start, because it doesn't really look like a saloon at all. More like a DB9 that's taken a bit of Viagra. In fact, you have to stare at it for a while before you can even see that it's got 4 doors at all.
The Quattroporte has now been with us for 6 years, but if anything, over that time, I think it's got even better looking.
Oh, it has.
You're not
has.
joking.
Look at it.
I remember when this first came out, I thought it looked like a Vauxhall Cresta.
Yes, you did.
But now it's just spectacularly well balanced.
It's just cool though as well, isn't it?
Because when you see someone getting out of these, the passers-by who they're because it's like a mafia hitman.
I like these.
Oh, those are spectacular.
They work for me.
When you sum up the looks of these, you've got the ballet dancer, the hitman, and someone who's been...
Found at the bottom of a lake after 2 weeks.
Yes, and this is the man who threw him there.
Having examined the outside of the cars, we thought we'd take a look at the insides, where there were some issues. In the Aston Martin, you need fingers like cocktail sticks to operate any of the buttons. And in the Porsche, you need to be a rocket scientist to understand anything. But worst of all is the Quattroporte.
This is always going to be a bit of a problem for a small car maker because, well, Mercedes-Benz, they've probably got 1,000 people employed just to decide where the buttons go on the sat-nav. But with Maserati, you sort of get the feeling that a man turns up on Tuesday and goes, here it is okay. And that's why it's blindingly difficult to operate everything in here. As we shall now demonstrate, chaps, give me a straightforward
I'll give you a task, okay? Adjust the clock.
Okay.
While James is doing that, Hammond and I have noticed that we've got these straps here. Now, these are fitted for you to be handcuffed to when you own
clip round
the
there.
owner of the car.
Don't take me to the warehouse. I can't find the money.
I'm going, please,
Just tell
please.
me where my children are.
Set time and date. Go on then.
Right. Manual, semi-automatic. Oh, these are the weapons. I'm quite good at this sort of thing, but that's rubbish.
At this point, we decided to take a typical businessman's drive from here in central London to a business park in Hampshire.
This is what I bought.
It's a 1987 BMW 325i convertible. According to the mileometer, it's done 94,000 miles, which means the one thing you can be sure of is it hasn't done 94,000 miles. But on the face of it, pretty solid car. Best of all, it only cost 1,600 quid. Oh,
Oh, no.
that's awkward. That is a...
Yes.
Yeah.
325?
Yes.
325?
Yes.
Ah, you're... how old?
87.
88. How much?
1,600.
Ooh, 19,950. How many miles?
Well, 94, it says.
So, this says 137,000 miles. I'm pretty pleased with this. At least they hadn't fit stupid aftermarket wheels on it, unlike...
Mine.
Yours comes from a good area, I can tell that. Anyone who's got these...
Extra
doesn't-
locks.
They don't live in Bourton on the Water, do they?
It's not a Cotswoldian feature.
More St Paul's in Bristol, I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah.
This is, well, just superb.
There's so many different shades of black on there, it's unbelievable.
He's taking care of his car. There, you need that.
Was he delivering paving slabs one
No.
at a time? Why is that there?
Because it improves handling.
At this point, James arrived in his four-seater convertible.
Oh dear.
Oh, God.
Just, I don't suppose by any happy chance that's the 318, is it?
It's a 325, sir. Yours?
325.
Is it?
Yeah.
5. Yeah.
What year is yours?
1989.
How much did you pay?
£1,900.
Yours looks pretty standard.
It is.
Except for the
utterly.
rust, obviously.
Mine's not.
Don't do that!
Sorry.
I just fixed that
Oh, I
once.
barely touched it.
So, none of us had bought an Audi or a Ford or a Merc, and that looked like a cock-up. But then I realised that actually, it wasn't.
I think this is brilliant.
Well, not really. We've got the
No,
same...
you know, we're always being asked. People come up to us and say, is a Golf a good used purchase or a Volvo or whatever? And we always say, well, it depends. So what we've got here are 3 cars, yes, they were made in the same factory by the same robots at roughly the same time, and they've all been driven in the same country by the same sort of people. So they should be the same.
Yeah.
But I bet you they aren't.
Because I know so little about vans, I did what Hammond had done in the earlier test, played it safe, and bought myself a Ford Transit.
Long wheelbase, 2.5-litre diesel engine, only done 77,000 miles, apparently. And do you know how much I paid for it? 800 quid.
James, meanwhile, had stuck to his theory of biggest is best and bought a huge LDV box fan.
James, are you filming with us today, or are you moving house?
James, however, was more bothered about my sign writing.
What have you done with that sign?
Top Gear Furriers.
Couriers.
Oh, couriers. It's top... I may have...
No, wait.
God, that's a superb thing. It's brilliant.
It's not
and
bad.
How much was it?
950 quid.
And now we have to wait for Bob the Builder, really, don't we?
Who eventually did arrive.
Did you, like, wash it on too hot a setting?
I have to leave that wound up there because I ran
I
out.
see what you've done.
Ran out of space a little bit.
Well, you would.
It's a Suzuki Super Carry.
Super carry. Super carry.
Optimistic title. It's
What, like a
basically
supermarket and a super tanker?
it's basically a Bedford Rascal.
Yeah.
It's got nearly a 900cc engine.
0
to 60, 18, 19 seconds.
I would imagine that's quicker than mine.
Well, let's see, because it's time to get on with the challenges.